We would like to invite the mission team. Who's coming first? It's AV.
Okay, I'm Maddie Coogan. I'm a junior. And my favorite thing about past mission trips is probably getting to know all the different people, even though the past one at Toronto, we worked mostly with items and preparation for.
Hi, I'm Abby Carlson and I'm in 12th grade. So past mission trips experiences, I've really loved getting to know the people and the culture that we're staying at. So one example that I had was my sophomore year. We went to a Native American reservation, and I ended up spending most of my time with this really quiet little girl who by the end of the week we didn't want to leave each other.
My name is Kian Savoy, and I'm a sophomore, and I go to Zavarian Brothers High School. I've been coming to this youth group for a few years now, and I participated in my first mission trip last year in Canada. That was the best experience, and that was the closest I've ever been to touching God.
I'm Kyle Infantino. I'm a senior. What's most important about last mission trips for me has been being able to see people from all different walks of life and interacting with people that you probably wouldn't be able to if you just stayed in Medfield and didn't get to travel around the world and see people who may not be as fortunate as us or have different lifestyles as us.
My name is Dan Ott. I'm a volunteer leader of the Senior High Fellowship. I have been in both the C9 and Senior High team for the last several years. And this will be my third mission trip. I'm really excited about it because I think there's just so much that can be learned and so many relationships built in an experience like this that gets us all, leaders and kids alike, out of our comfort zone into other people's worlds and experiencing life in a way that that we don't get to otherwise in our normal daily lives here in Medfield.
Hi, I'm Megan Sullivan. I'm a senior, and this is going to be my third mission trip. And I think that my most meaningful mission trip experiences have been when I've gotten to make really personal connections with the people that we've gotten to help out. So one of my fondest memories was my freshman year. We got to help this old woman in one of the communities, and we got to clean up her yard and kind of spend the day talking to her and hearing her life story. And she ended up sending us like a thank you package later that week, and it was just like so sweet to see what an impact we could make on one woman while like at the church itself we can still do like service activities, but we might not see who we're making an impact on. So like something like Cradles to Crayons, you can help, and it's super fun to help in that way, but you never really get to see firsthand who you're impacting. So I think that's the difference with mission trips, is you get to really talk to the people that you're helping out.
It will be great in Puerto Rico to get to do hands-on activities and actually more of a purpose since it's in disaster relief. I'm really excited to work somewhere that's in so much like distress other than just a city that's kind of already established.
I'm really excited to go to Puerto Rico because I think we're going to be able to make a difference there, especially because they have not received the amount of funding that they need in terms to Houston and other places that have had natural disasters as well, but are getting more relief and more aid. I think we're really going to be able to help, and I know small, but we're going to be able to help in some ways.
Now, I'm really excited about going to Puerto Rico. And one of the reasons why I'm really excited about that is to have the close relationships and to build the relationships with people. And I really want to try to talk to them and to make a difference in their lives, and to try to be the person that actually cares about them, to talk to them. So yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to go to Puerto Rico, and I'm really glad to go there. Thank you.
But for Puerto Rico, what I'm most excited about is being able to take part in a relevant and new disaster relief cause, because it just happened. It made the news. It's extremely well known. So it's really cool to be able to be a part of the recovery effort for that, because you always see people stepping in and helping with after such big disasters like that, and it's cool to be a part of that.
I think as we look forward to Puerto Rico, we're going into a very different situation there, from at least in my mind, from what I can tell. In that, they've been dealt a bad hand, and we're going into still what I think in many cases is a crisis situation. Again, I don't think many of us have been in that role before. So I anticipate that it will be somewhat overwhelming, that we'll be looking around and thinking, how in the world are these people coping? How are they getting through day to day? What is it that gives them hope? What is it that they cling to? What is their faith grounded in that gets them, through the week and through the months that they've been without power, without water, without good health care facilities. And we're going to see that firsthand. I again expect that we'll come away learning a lot more than we may necessarily give, but in the act of that giving, our eyes will be opened, and we'll have the chance to show that people do care about them and want to be there to help.
Hi, I'm Chloe Manning. I'm in 10th grade, and this is going to be my first mission trip, and I'm really excited for it because I've never done anything this big and grand to help out in a community before, and I'm excited to see what impacts I can make.
I'm most excited that we get to help out in an area that we know really needs it, because in the past we've gone to a couple areas in the U.S. that we had to really think about and do research to see what kind of help that they needed. But I think when you say Puerto Rico at this point in time, everyone knows that they do need help, and I think that's just going to make it so much more impactful. Even when we're on the plane going down, we know that we're going to be making a huge difference to them.
Hello, I'm Ro Aldrich, and for several years of my life, Puerto Rico was my home. I lived there for 5 hot, wonderful years and spent many summers there before college. This is a view outside of my mother's house. The house sits on a bay in the southern town of Salinas. The beauty can be breathtaking, the calm captured in the gentle curves of the mountains, and in the water a perfect reflection of the sky. But what if the water weren't a mirror? What if you could see clearly into its depths? What would you find? According to the neighbors, you'd see 11 sunken vessels, sailboats, motorboats, all underwater, all victims of Maria. And if you turn and look across the street from my mother's house, you would see mattresses, a dining room set, a refrigerator, plastic bags piled on top of plastic bags, the contents of her home lined along the fence, waiting to be hauled away. Somewhere between those two images lies my story. I still haven't made sense of it all. I spoke to my mom before the hurricane. I told her to pack her things and leave the coast, to move important papers and pictures to higher shelves, but not to worry. We had been spared by Irma. We would be spared again. But it didn't turn out that way because Maria didn't miss. The ordeal of waiting to hear from her was the worst, the not knowing. "How's your mom?" friends would ask. "I don't know," I would answer, feeling almost foolish. I can't tell you everything my mom suffered during those first few days and nights of the storm because I still don't know everything, and can only imagine the unease of total darkness, the disappointment of turning a faucet and have nothing come out, and the isolation of being completely unplugged from the rest of the world. My mom can tell you that. That's her story, and the story of hundreds of thousands that, like her, are still displaced mentally and physically after the storm. What I can tell you is my story. My brother and I landed in Puerto Rico on November 1st, 6 weeks after the storm. our suitcases loaded with supplies, many of them generously donated by you, for which I deeply and truly thank you all. My brother and I took the first day to catch up with relatives, and then we went to work on my mom's house. It was overwhelming. Knowing we couldn't do it all, we made a plan to fix the roof and clean out the house. We didn't have the tools or the brawn to deal with the yard, so while it broke our hearts to leave the place looking abandoned, the yard would just have to wait. That was our plan. But God's plan was much better. The very first day we were outside working, 2 men approached our gate. They were from a Methodist church about 45 minutes away. 2 retired guys looking to help. And as it turned out, they had met my mom before and knew that she lived there alone. They had come to check on her, bringing with them a truck full of power tools and a portable generator. My brother couldn't believe our luck, but I didn't feel lucky. I felt the Holy Spirit. I couldn't believe I had forgotten that for God, anything is possible. For days, the 2 gentlemen helped us with the yard and the house, and they wouldn't take a cent. They shared our struggles, they made us laugh, they became our blessing. But mostly, they helped to remind me to look for God everywhere because He's always there. I couldn't help but see things differently after that, and instead of desperation, I saw perseverance, I saw kindness, I saw people reaching out, eager to connect and share their stories. Another day at the grocery store, I noticed a woman ahead of me buying too many eggs, and without asking, she told me how she had been cooking breakfast for herself and 3 of her neighbors. All her neighbors have electric stoves, but hers is gas, so she was able to cook them a hot meal. Along with the eggs, a pack of candles to get through the evening. I felt blessed to hear her story, but even more, I wanted to be a part of it, so I paid for her groceries, because maybe she would tell someone about it, and that would inspire that person to be a blessing for someone else. Now fast forward to Medfield, 2 weeks after arriving from Puerto Rico. Midnight before Thanksgiving, my mom wakes up. She's gray. She can barely get any words out, and she's struggling for air. We call the ambulance and later find out that she had suffered congestive heart failure. Fast forward a few more weeks and she's back in Medfield with a pacemaker and recovering from quadruple bypass surgery. Luck? She doesn't think so. Neither do I, and neither does my brother this time, because God is great. SHF asked me to tell you my story, but I want you to see that my story isn't just mine. It's my mom's, it's my friends, it's the women's I met at the grocery stores, it's yours, and it is God's. And today, SHF invites you to be a part of the story that sends these teenagers to Puerto Rico to do something bigger than themselves and forever become a blessing to someone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Ro, for sharing that with us. My name's Jack, and I'm a senior at Medfield High School and part of SHF.
I'm Chloe. I'm also a senior and also part of SHF.
So as we look forward to the Puerto Rico mission trip, we're all very excited for it, and it's a little different from the past mission trips we've been on for a few different reasons. As you saw in the videos, the need is it's very public, as opposed to when we go to other places, you're not really sure, there's need there, but it's not on the news everywhere, so that's a little different.
It's also going to be a little bit longer, which is more of a logistical difference, but usually we'll go for 5 days. We are going for 7 this year, from June 23rd to the 30th.
In addition to those 2 changes, this mission trip is also a little bit more expensive than usual. Normally it's under $1,000. This year it's a little bit over $1,000. So for a lot of families, that might be a deterrent for them to go on the mission trip, but our goal is to get as many people to go as we can in senior high. So we came up with a few different fundraisers to try to help out the families so tons of kids can go.
So we've already started with a couple. We did the pie fundraisers at the beginning of the year with a lot of help from the Erickson family, and that brought in a lot of money. And also we did the other fundraiser around Christmas, so we did Christmas carols and also human services, so things like cooking meals and wrapping gifts and yard work and things like that. So right now we have almost $4,300 brought in, and our goal is to reach 10,000. So we have a few more fundraisers to get to that.
One of the fundraisers we're thinking about doing is in the spring, doing a softball game with senior high kids versus the adults of the church. We feel like that could be a fun thing to get everyone to go. We're also thinking about doing a movie night for kids and families on February 2nd, and we'll just show a movie, have some crafts, maybe some food.
In addition to that, also in the spring, we're hoping to do a car wash, so that would most likely be behind Town Hall. You've probably seen in the past sports teams and stuff like that with signs out, doing a car wash by Town Hall. And also Jack Shortsleeve has, hi, she came up with the idea to do different apparel. So we have shirts, a shirt and a hat that she made. So either Jack Shortsleeve or Arturo will have order forms for that during coffee hour, and sales will start today and be ongoing. So the shirts are $20 and the hats are $30.
That's a shirt. And that is the hat. So in addition to Rose's story and the videos we showed, we just have some quick facts that Arturo looked up to share with you all about like the larger scale. On September 6th and September 20th, 2017, Hurricanes Irma and Maria ripped through the little island of Puerto Rico. They tore through neighborhoods, commercial areas, and frail infrastructure, leaving people without homes, electrical power, or running water. To date, 66 people were confirmed killed by the storms. Over 15,000 people are displaced from their homes. 55% of the island remains without electrical power, and 10% of the population lacks running water, and that comes out to about 350,000 people. So, with this mission trip, we know that we can't obviously impact everyone, but our goal is to help out as many people as we can, and even if we can't help with a lot of physical things, we hope to build relationships with them and just sort of be a friend to them while we're there.
To sort of get the ball rolling, in addition to Jack's apparel during coffee hour, we're also doing what we're calling Tag a Bag, which is really to try to get the congregation involved in what we're doing when we go and to bring your messages with us. So we'll have little luggage tags available and you can pay to basically write your own message to either somebody specific that's going on the mission trip or just the team as a whole. And when we go down to Puerto Rico, we'll all attach all of these tags onto our bags and bring all of your messages down with us.
So we have a lot of senior high kids. Not all of them are here today, but if you guys have any questions about the mission trip or senior high or like what we're looking forward to or our mission, we're friendly. We don't bite, you know. I like to think we're nice. But we'll be here. We're here to talk if you guys want to. So, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. We're also doing the pancake supper as normal. Pancakes with a purpose. What's the date for that? February 13th is Pancakes with a Purpose. Yeah, we'll just serve pancakes, sausage, and last year we did like a little service thing, like crafts, or I think we made backpacks that we brought down with us to Canada, right?
With school supplies?
Yes, with school supplies. So we'll probably do something like that again, but those are our fundraisers and that is our plan. Thank you.